Hello everyone, this is Mike. Welcome to my channel, Mike the Tech Savvy. This is a full in-depth review of the Google Pixel 3a. I have owned this device for a couple of months now, and I can definitely tell you that it's flagship material, but in a more cheaper package. It really depends on what device you're coming from. If you're coming from a full flagship, just like this S10e here, yes, you might feel that when you open an app, it takes like 1 extra second or half a second or something like that. But if you're coming from a normal phone, you will definitely feel that this is an improvement. Of course, it features the bog standard Google Android with no further improvements. Is it true that Android 10 has brought a number of features that Samsung had from Pi, just like, let's say, night mode, but overall it's a device that from a software perspective will always be up to date, as opposed to, well, other Android counterparts, even Samsung, Sony, LG, you name it. No one else will get faster updates than this, not even the Android One devices. This is the first device, or let's say the lineup. The Google Pixel lineup is the first to get the latest Android updates. I quite like this minimalistic Android approach. I like it very much because it's, well, bloatware free for the most part. This device is pretty easy to root and pretty easy to, well, play with and figure out exactly what you want from it. I have added a number of tweaks to this device, which makes it much more livable, at least for me. Let's just quickly go through the specs. We have a 5.6 inches AMOLED panel, which is pretty nice. I would say it's on the par with other AMOLED devices that are on the market right now. We have a Snapdragon 670 octa-core processor, which is on a 10 nanometer architecture, full HD resolution, which brings us to a pretty decent 443 dpi screen density, 4 GB of RAM, and 64 GB of storage, out of which only 50 are available. This being a Pixel device, there is no micro SD card slot, and this is one of its major disadvantages, I might say. The battery life is decent enough, I guess better than the S10e that I have here on my left, even though it's a 3000 mAh battery, just like in this compact Samsung flagship. What this phone features, and, well, a lot of the other phones don't, is the headphone jack. So if you're interested in that, the headphone jack is present in this phone. The back camera is really, really good, or let's just say that the Google algorithm is the best on the market right now. 12 megapixel sensor, very similar to what's inside the Google Pixel 4 right now. Of course, you don't have a secondary camera, so there is no ultra wide or telephoto lens. You have a dual LED flash here, fingerprint scanner on the back, Google logo, and the model number. It's pretty important to add that this phone is also dual SIM, which makes it really versatile from the standpoint. Samsung flagships at this point, I guess all of them, at least in Europe, are already dual SIM. So I guess Google had to respond to this. We have the typical USB Type-C port here, but it's a USB 2.0 port, not a USB 3.0 port. We have a speaker here and a speaker here, but the, let's say, combined quality doesn't match the S10 series. We have a microphone here and a microphone on the top, and here we have a very colorful power button and the volume keys. The fingerprint scanner is, as all capacitive fingerprint scanners, incredibly fast. It's nice that you have gestures, so you can swipe down on it and the notification bar will open. It's pretty nice. I love this feature, and I love the fact that it's a phone that you can hold in hand very easily and you can unlock very easily. The finger just, well, rests comfortably on the fingerprint scanner, and it's really natural to unlock it and to play with these swipes. something which I cannot say for the current Samsung flagships where you have the fingerprint scanner here. I guess it's a bit more unnatural, but each to his own. I guess both approaches are really good. Software-wise, this device will probably be upgraded to Android 11 at least, and it will afterwards get security updates for another year or something. It is one of the few compact phones that you can buy right now and that doesn't make any compromises. Yes, the CPU isn't the strongest one around, and if you do a lot of gaming, you'll probably not get the same performance that you will get out of a flagship device like the Pixel 3 or the Pixel 4 or the flagships from other brands. But overall, because you have this stock Google implementation, you have a great system performance. It is incredibly responsive. Yes, the app launch is not the fastest around, but overall you have a really nice responsive phone. Of course, the camera can shoot 4K and it has one of the best video stabilizations on the market right now, even though it's a digital stabilization. So on EIS you can record videos in the HEVC format, which is more efficient. The camera overall has surprised me. You have this amazing night sight, which is top notch. It's miles ahead of what Samsung does or any other competitor. This is one of the top implementations of night modes that you can find on the market right now. And all of this in a $300 package, which is incredible if you ask me. It's true that you have the plastic construction overall, which is not as premium, but I'm not bothered by this. But at this price point, you cannot really ask for much. On the front, you don't have Gorilla Glass. We have Asahi Dragon Trail glass. It's more or less on par with Gorilla Glass. Another disadvantage of this phone is that you have no dust or water resistant. Even though the case is plastic, you don't have wireless charging, and this is a shame, but I guess they had to cut costs somewhere. And yeah, one of the biggest disadvantages, and nowadays it is quite big, is that you have only one lens. You do not have the wide angle lens, the most useful extra lens that you can have. Google has chosen the telephoto lens for the Pixel 4, which is a huge mistake if you ask me. As an overall package, I guess this phone still is a great buy for 2020. It is very easy to root this device and to install midrage modules and to just play with it. In the past, rooting was made to increase the performance, but right now the phones are really strong from a hardware perspective, and they don't really require overclocking or underclocking or undervolting, or the manufacturers have figured out that people want the bloated softwares and they're trying to do that. You have more control. With Android 10, for example, you have more control on what each app can do. As an overall package for the price point of around 300 euros, I guess it's a pretty good choice. Just take note of the disadvantages that I mentioned earlier, and if they're not really a decision-making point, you can definitely go with this phone. This was my full review of the Google Pixel 3a. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please press the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more similar videos, also press the subscribe button, which will be displayed right here in the bottom left part. Thank you so much for your support overall. This was Mike the Tech Savvy. I wish you a great day. Bye.